Hi everybody. Today I want to tell you about the most powerful developer tool ever created. Best of all, it's free, already installed on your computer, and available to both beginners and expert developers alike. I'm going to show you the Chrome developer tools. Pausing real quick, if you don't have Chrome installed, I recommend you go install it to follow along with this guide. The same tools are available in Internet Explorer's Edge and Firefox browser, but you'll probably want to use the same one that you see in this video just for context, because some of the hotkeys and buttons and behaviors can be a little different. Cool, let's jump right into it. The easiest way to get to the developer tools is to right-click, inspect anywhere on the page. That will open up the Elements tab in your tool and allow you to inspect whatever is on the page. So you can see here as I hover over this, that's the tagline from the top of our school's website. Lift up your skills at Uplift Code Camp is the item on the page as well as the tag here. Before I get into the developer tools, let me give you one quick warning. Never ever paste something into the developer tools that somebody else has told you to do. The console allows you to execute any code you want and gives you almost complete admin control over the browser. Anything you run here in this console has access to your cookies, to your credentials, to a lot of other stuff. So just a fair warning, if somebody has you log into a developer tool and paste some stuff in, they could be trying to steal your Facebook account, your bank information, or anything else. The developer tools are really powerful, so be super careful what you do with them. Cool. So I'm going to start here with the Elements tool. The Elements tab is one of the many different tools in the developer tools. Elements, console, sources, network, etc. each have a slightly different purpose. As you're developing bigger and more powerful websites, you'll likely need to use all of them to do things like improve your performance, figure out why network requests aren't loading, and so on and so forth. But as a quick overview, we'll start with the Elements tab. If you're familiar with basic HTML and CSS, you'll recognize that the left-hand side of the Developer Tool Element tab is your HTML elements. The right side is the CSS. If you're ever in a situation where you need to add new elements to a page, figure out how styles are working, I strongly recommend using these tools either as the primary location where you're doing development or a very fast cycle location where you can add on. And the reason to that is rather than building into your HTML, refreshing the page, building perhaps if you have a build step, that can take quite a while. You can use the select an element item here, or like I said, the right-click inspect to select the item. That will focus it in your element tab. Whatever is focused in your elements tab will have its styles shown up on the right. Not only will it show the active styles, it will show in crossed out lines all of the other styles that tried to be applied but weren't prioritized because other styles with higher importance overrode it. There's likewise a computed tab that shows you all of the resulting styles that end up on your HTML element after all of the CSS computations occurred, including this really handy box model diagram that shows you where the element's padding, borders, margin, and content sizes are. There's a lot more to do here, but we'll look at something real quick. We can go in and add CSS to our element. So if we wanted to, for example, add a font size, because we wanted to change the font size and see how that looks, we could try different values. Not only will it live preview on the left side as we change it, but with different types of elements, you actually can use autocomplete. And the best part of the autocomplete is you can see how the different values look. So looking at this text align property, which is a CSS property to align your text left, right, or center, I can tap through the different options with the up and down key to see how they look on the left. So as we see this text here, I can up and down see what it would look like with justify, initial, end, center, etc. In this case, center definitely looks best, and that's what we had already. Cool. So that is the Elements tab. You can do all sorts of stuff here between adding HTML, removing HTML, modifying HTML. One thing you'll see a lot of people do is if they're trying to show off a screenshot to their friends, they might go to the text and add a little bit. It's how you make fake news sometimes. So I could come here and say, Michael is cool. Whoa, look at that. Now it shows up on the left-hand page as if that was part of the website. It's not part of the website. It's only there in your current session for your developer tools, but it'll show you how that would look. The other important tab to know about is the Sources tab. The Sources tab is where you go to view the JavaScript on your application. I don't actually have any running JavaScript on this site because it's a static HTML page. But the important thing to know is you can come here to do things like set breakpoints, find out when exceptions occur. Look at these two commands here, Command Shift P or Command P will allow you to do different things. So for example, if I Command P, I can look through the different files I could load, something.js. So this just lets you really view the different files that get loaded in, the source files as well as the executions. And a quick overview of the remaining tabs. The Network tab is a really powerful tool to see the performance of your network requests. So if I refresh the page, I can see all of the different network requests that went from my browser to another server. So this is the root document, the HTML, a number of different JavaScript files. In many of these cases, you see a 0 ms time. That's actually happening because the request itself has been cached on my local browser. If you're not familiar with caching, that's something we'll cover in another video. So here I can see the 47 different requests that were required to load this web page. Most of these to support different things like the embedded YouTube videos, a lot of controls that come along with the framework we're using, etc. The performance tool is really cool. You can come here and click the second item from the left, Start Profiling and Reload Page. That will reload the page and record how much time your CPU and network take to actually show and render the page. So if you've got a page you want to be a little faster, you can do that and then view this timeline. Here we can see it took about 800 milliseconds to load the page. And you can kind of understand where that's coming from. So here it looks like it spent 145 milliseconds parsing the HTML, a little bit of time on scripting, and different items. So those are just a few of the examples of the tools here in the Chrome DevTools. The amount of stuff you can actually accomplish with these is incredible. It gives you almost full diagnostic capabilities to look at your website and other people's websites. As you're developing in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, these tools should become your best friend. Take the time to learn them in and out. Read the documentation, watch YouTube videos. If you're a web developer, these tools should be your lifeblood. They are the most important aspect of being a great developer in the front end. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.